Today is March 27th, 2015. It's actually almost evening right now. But I'm going to make a very short clip. I think that's separate from some of the other things I've been doing, and just make a personal statement, I guess, in person, well, by video clip, rather than just by email or writing something about this one time when Diana, the lady Diana of Wales, said something to me about how she was going to die. And from what I recall, there was more than one time. There were two different times. Once in the United States when she came to visit, and then another time at her house. And what happened is, I believe that I had just been babysitting. Was watching Harry when he was an infant overnight. I think that it was with Harry and not William, but I babysat both of them. And with Harry, a few different things happened than my experience. Well, it was different from my experience with William. And I've written a little bit about it, but anyway, at some point, well, there are different people that would come in every now and then to check on the baby and make sure everything was fine, but other times there was someone going in and molesting me, and possibly more than one man, because I was waking up sort of in a semi asleep state, finding someone there in bed, trying to get in bed with me, and basically at that time I was working or volunteering, I guess, as a night nurse. I did feedings and everything all night for the babies by bottle, and then they had a bassinet that was right next to my bed. But I almost never used it with William, and I did use it a couple of times with Harry because I was getting drugged, and I knew I was being drugged. I was feeling really sedated, and there was something definitely not of the norm. So I was afraid of co-sleeping with him because I would because there were times that I was afraid that, given my state of or feelings of sedation, I was worried I might roll over on him or crush him or something. So, I actually, that was the circumstance. And it was with Harry that I found that there were people that were checking in, and a couple of times I think someone didn't expect me to be awake with William. But with Harry, I was kind of halfway awaking in a sense, but I was really drugged, and there would be some kind of man like pawing at me, and it happened more than once, so it was really strange. And every now and then I would talk to Diana about what I thought. She wanted to know my opinion about some things, and I would let her know how things were going. And so I believe that it was one of the times that I was watching Harry. I approached her one day and she said, "So how are things going?" Something like that. And I don't remember my exact words, but I said something like, because a few times a couple of men had come in even when I was awake, and they would look at me and give this look. At first, every now and then there was sort of a tender look, such as they thought it was very sweet that I was taking good care. I mean, I was young myself, that I was taking care of these babies. But then something changed. I'm not sure why, but I noticed a few of them seemed to be very threatened and feeling very competitive. And I really don't know what it was, but there were feelings of jealousy and competition, that is for sure, and some resentment. And I sensed all those things, and I saw the expressions. Sometimes they looked really mad at me, some of these men. And a couple of women would come in and look kind of mad at me too, but I noticed it more with the men, which I thought was kind of strange, because usually, you know, as a younger girl, I could sometimes be charming enough to a man that he wouldn't, that I felt that, you know, in hindsight, I would think that those who would have felt competitive in some way would have been the women. And so one day, usually I talked about the kids, but then one day she said, "How are things going?" And I said, "Everything's going fine," but and I gave her a little report on how they were doing and how much they ate and how they slept, and all of that. And then I said, and I looked at her and said, but I get the feeling that there are some people that don't want me to be there, Diana. And I said, I don't know what it is. I said, I know you want me to be watching them, or watching him. I probably said, I don't know if I said them or him. I said, I know you want me to be watching them. I probably said him, since it was just one at a time. But I said, but there seems to be a few others, and maybe a lot of other people, that don't want me to be around him at all. And I think maybe they don't like it. And I don't remember exactly how I put it. I don't know if I said, I think that they don't like it, or I think they're jealous. I don't think I threw in a motive specifically along with that, but I possibly did. I possibly said something like, it seems like they're kind of, I probably didn't, because I wouldn't have wanted to sound self-aggrandizing to her, to imply that these people didn't like it because they felt jealous of me because I was just wonderful. You know, I mean, you had to be really sensitive to how you described things around them, because every inflection of your statement, you know, Diana wasn't ignorant by any means, and she would pick up on the slightest, she was very sensitive, so she would pick up on the slightest kind of thing that you might say, and even if it wasn't the meaning you implied, it could be taken the wrong way potentially, or sound boastful or something. And they didn't like that kind of thing, not even with themselves. They didn't really like to talk that way. So actually, I'm not sure that I said it seemed like someone felt competitive or jealous. Although every now and then I was very brutally honest too. So it's not out of the possibility, realm of possibilities that I did say that. However, I said something about how others, I knew she wanted me there, but it seemed like there were a lot of other people that did not want me there. And she was standing there tall and looked down, you know, me, because I'm, of course, shorter. And did sort of this nodding of her head and very seriously looking at me. And I had kind of caught her off guard, because she was like maybe walking in a room, and then she stood still and said, "How are things going?" That kind of thing. And then we talked for a minute, you know, face to face. And she looked at me and was like, and then she said, "I'm going to die." And she said it very seriously. She didn't say it like, "Oh, I'm going to die," you know, or well, she wouldn't really say it like that ever. But maybe one of her gay friends might. But no one like her, around her immediately in that room would have said it like that way. But she didn't. What I mean to say is, she didn't say it in a dramatic way or with some kind of a flair or whatever. She just she said it in a way that was very serious and matter of fact. And she said, "I'm going to die." And I thought it was really strange that she said that when I was commenting on other people, certain other individuals seeming to not like the fact that I was co-sleeping with her sons when they were infants and taking care of them. And, you know, as far as I knew, that was her choice. And I had given her all of the information that she wanted to know on a regular basis. And there were even times I asked her if she wanted something different, and she didn't. So, and she seemed very happy by the things that I chose. I mean, at least from my understanding at the time, she liked the fact that I chose to co-sleep with them rather than putting them aside into cribs and that kind of thing. So I have no idea why she said that, but my response was, "Well, why did you say that? And why do you think that?" Or, you know, I said it maybe in the way of, "Why do you think that? And what made you say that?" I said something like that, and then she wouldn't respond. All she said that I remember, and if she did respond, maybe it was another nod or some sort of non-verbal cue, and then she went on to talk about other things, or we did other things. But I just remember that I had given her a little report, and then she nodded her head. I think that I also possibly gave her a report about some strange things that were showing up on Harry, such as I'm not sure if it was that same report that I was when I was talking to her or not, but I think I said something to her like Diana, because there was another strange thing that was happening when I was watching Harry, and a couple of times I woke up after I was watching him, and you know, I had laid in the bassinet, and I would wake up and he had a bruise on him, like it looked like a bruise, so I described it as a bruise. It was like a round red mark, and I definitely did not ever do anything bad to those kids, and it was really strange to me that all of a sudden, just kind of overnight, Harry would get this bruise, and sometimes a couple of bruises, sometimes maybe just one. And so I told Diana about it, and I said, you know, I don't know what it is, but I said, Harry, I said, you know, I feel really groggy sometimes, so I didn't want to roll over on him or anything. So I told her, and I put him in the bassinet, and I said, Diana, I don't know what's going on, because I woke up and he has like some kind of a strange round mark. It looks like a bruise. And I said, and he was just in his bassinet with all of these, with just his, basically, he didn't have anything, no toys. I told her, you know, I didn't put any toys in his bassinet or anything for him to, you know, sleep on accidentally. And I told her at one point, I believe, I said, and also I said, there was like, I woke up and there was like, I don't know who it was, but there was like a strange man like trying to get in my bed. And I did tell her that one time, and I think possibly I told her that at the same time that I was telling her, I don't know why, but I said, I think some people don't want me to be there. And that's when, but her response ultimately, with regard to what I said to her, was, I'm going to die. And so that was a very matter-of-fact thing that she said to me, which was pretty alarming, but I really didn't know why she had said it. Like, why would she say that, and why would she say that to me, and in that context? Like, what, I really didn't know exactly what was going on. But anyway, so that's all for now.